Hello friends, so today we're going to discuss a problem from LeetCode, but before that I want to thank you that there's an overwhelming response on the combinatorics series I've been working on. So stay tuned, more videos are coming soon because I have to first decide which problem should be in the problem set or in the playlist or not, and thus I've been solving a lot of problems so that the best problems will be in the playlist. So stay tuned and more videos will be coming out soon, I assure you. So there's also a playlist on which I upload LeetCode hard problems. So I thought that I should upload 2-3 hard problems also, such that you can practice those hard problems also if you want. So this is a hard problem from LeetCode. Let's begin this question. So the problem name is count of smaller numbers after self. It's a very standard problem, and also it is asked in a lot of interviews. So watch this video entirely and let me know if you want more videos like these. So let's start. You are given an integer array nums and you have to return a new count array, as you can see. So you are given some integer array and you have to return like an output of an integer array only. The count array, which is this, has the property where the count of I is the number of elements smaller to the right of that number. What it mean by this is you have to tell how many numbers are smaller than the current number on the right side of it. So for 1 there is no number on the right side, so answer is 0. For 6 there is one number which is 1 and 1 is smaller than 6, so answer is 1. 2, because there is only one number smaller than 2 which is 1, so answer is 1. For 5 there are two numbers smaller than 5 which are on the right side, 2 and 1, so the answer is 2. So you have to find out the count, this count array, in which every number count of I denotes a number of elements smaller than the current number to the right of it. The question is very simple. Now how to approach this problem? The brute force way, if you want to know this brute force way, what you can do, you can just do an O of n operations, n square, in which just take every element and just find out the number of elements smaller than it on the right side of it. But because the constraints are too big, as you can see 10 to the power 5, so you cannot do an O of n square operation, and thus you have to do some smart way. Now trees are very beneficial to find out the number of elements, a count of elements. Okay, so you can solve this problem using segment trees also. Okay, maybe in some future if I started some segmentary playlist, then I will definitely upload this video also, because this is a specific type of segmented problem, because you have to find out the number of elements to the right of that element which is smaller than this. You can read the discussion page of this problem to find out how the segmentary approach, but maybe I can talk about that in later. But in this problem we're gonna discuss how to solve this problem using binary search trees, and we're gonna discuss one property about binary search trees. And this code is sort of similar code from Geeks for Geeks. I have taken some hints from that code, but I will tell you how to approach this problem also from scratch. So let's start. So what you can do, I'll take this example only to make it more clear. Let's start, or just paste this example here. Okay, maybe okay, let's is this not working? Color. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So I will change the font, but bear with me in this video. So these are the numbers what you can see. Now what you can easily do here is move from right to left, because if you move from right to left, you already know that what numbers has already occurred to the right. So move from 1, then as you can know 1 is already on the rightmost part, so there will be no element to the right of it, so the answer will always be 0 for this. So you can observe this. So the first number has always 0, but you will build a binary search tree. Now binary search tree will help you to access the elements fast, because binary search tree has one important property in which every element which is greater than the node element or the parent node are on the right side, and every element value which is smaller than the root node is on the left side. So that's why you can just do a login operation to search any element in a binary search tree. Okay, so let's assume that if you have 12, then if you want to insert, let's assume that 5 in this binary search tree, so you will always compare to the with the root node. So it is like 5 is smaller, so you will insert 5 like this. Now if you want to insert like let's assume 10, so 10 is also here, so you will move down like this. So because 10 is like smaller than 12, so you go to the left, and then because 10 is greater than 5, you go to the right, and then you will insert it. Okay, then let's assume you want to insert 15, so 15 is greater than 12, so you will insert like this. Now if you want to insert, let's assume 14, so 14 is greater than 12 but smaller than 15, so it will be inserted like this, and so on. Every node will be inserted like this. So this is how a binary search tree will be constructed. But how are we going to construct binary search tree for this problem? So as you already know, obviously know that every element which is on the left side of the current element has is smaller, obviously, because let's assume that I have 12, and if I insert 15, let's assume 15 is here. Okay, if I somehow know what all elements are on the okay, so let's assume I am moving from right to left. First element is 12, I inserted 12, then I inserted 15, then I inserted, let's assume 6, and 6 is here. Okay, then okay, oh sorry, let's assume that okay, let's read this tree because then it can get messy. Just start with this only. I have the first node, which is 1, then the next node is 6. The 6 is greater than, so this is 6, then 2 is also greater than 6, but it is smaller than 6, so it's like this. So what you can observe in this problem is, see, whenever I'm inserting some element, and if I'm going to the right side, then all the element compared to this element on the left side is smaller, obviously, because every element in this subtree, let's assume that I inserted 4 then, so 4 is also there, here only. Let's assume I've inserted some negative number, though it is not a negative number element, but let's assume if I insert some negative number, let's assume -5, so -5 is here. So all the elements to the, let's assume, left side of this node are smaller, obviously, all the nodes, because all the elements will be smaller and these elements are greater, and thus if I somehow store the frequency of every element to the left side of every element, then it is beneficial. So what we're gonna do here is, whenever we insert some element to the left of it, we're gonna increment the frequency of that element in the parent node. What I mean by this is, let's assume let's start in inserting some elements. So this is 1, okay, then 1 has the frequency, so every node has two values. First, it's the value on the node itself, which is this 162, which is given here. The second value is the count. Count means how many elements on the left side of it, because we have to store how many elements on the left side of it, because the left side elements will be the number of elements smaller than the elements here. And secondly, because we are moving from right to left, then we only have the tree built till now which has the elements from right to left. So if we find out the numbers which are smaller than the current number till now, then it is obviously to the right side of it. Okay, so what we're gonna do, first insert 1, and the frequency of this is 0. There is no element on the right side of it, and the answer is already 0. Then we insert 6. Now because we insert 6, then we're gonna go to the right side, and for the right side, what we're gonna do, we're gonna see how many elements are there on the left side of this. So there is 1 element, so answer is 1. So we're gonna make this value 1, which means that how many elements are on the left side of it. Then we insert 2. 2 is greater than this, so that like this. But as you can see, because we move to the right side, we're gonna see how many elements are there on the left side of it. So as you can see, this is on the left side, because this is on the right side, but this is on the left side, and this is the answer as well. Now if you want to insert 5, I will give a more simpler example to even make it more clear, but this is difficult to understand. Then if I insert 5, Then we're gonna go to the right side, and then this is 6, so we're gonna go to the left side, but it is 2, so we're gonna go to the right side. So we're gonna see how we're gonna update these frequency values. So I'll take it on to the some another example. What we're gonna do, or I can show you that in the code also. When we add some node, so if the root is null, which means that there is no element in the tree which is just initial node, then what we'll do, we'll insert a node. With this node consists of the value means the initial value in the node itself, and the count means what is the frequency on the number of left side of it, so which is 0. Okay, then what we'll do, we will always compare the value we're gonna insert, the inserted value, with the root node, which I've told you. If the inserted value is greater than the root node, we're going to go to the right side, else we're going to go to the left side. If whenever we go to the left side, what we're going to do, we will insert the count in the root node, because which means that the root node always stores the number of elements to the left side of it, and because we're going to inserting one element to the left side, we're going to increment the count of the root node. I will draw one more case to even make it more clear. So we are going to increment the count of root node by 1, and then recursively call the function again to the root left side, because we're gonna add the node using this part. If you're gonna insert some element to the right side, then what we're gonna do, for right side, we're gonna increment the number of elements to the left side, and the left side element is stored in the root node. So root count plus we're gonna recursively call the function again on the right side. Okay, so let's draw out some another case, because this is one, it is not very easy to understand. Let's assume we have the starting number 5. 5 is inserted first. Okay, so 5 is inserted first in the binary search tree, and the frequency is 0. Cool. Now the next element here is 2. The next element is 2. So we're gonna insert 2 here because 2 is smaller than this, and we're gonna insert the frequency of 5 by 1, and the frequency of every node which is inserted is 0, because it is a new node. There is no element to the left side of it, and how many elements are left side of this 5 is 1. So the frequency will tell us how many elements are on the left side of it, which is 5. Oh, okay, 1. Then let's assume I have one more element, 3, like this. Then how I insert it, I go to the left side. Then because I go to the left side, I will increment the frequency of the parent itself, which is 2. Then I go to this point. Then because now I go to the right side, so because I'm going to the right side, I will insert at this point, but I will know that how many elements on the left side of it, which is storing in the parent frequency. So the parent frequency is 0, but I have to also count this node also, because see, the parent node store how many elements on the left side, and I have to also include the parent itself, because parent is also smaller. So the answer is 1, because this frequency plus the parent itself, and the answer is 1. So the answer is 1 for this, because there's one element to the right side of it which is smaller. Okay, now let's assume I want to insert 6 on this. If I want to insert 6, then I am directly going to the right side, and whenever I go to the right side, I will increment the frequency of the parent plus the parent itself. So I will insert this value like this. The frequency is 0, so every node inserted has a frequency 0, and sorry, yeah, so frequency is entered 0. And what we're gonna observe here is, so for 6 we will tell how many elements are on the left side of this is 2, because as you can see 2 plus 1, which is 5 itself, so 3. So as you can see 3 elements are there. Now if you want to insert, let's assume the last element 4. So for 4, because I'm going to the left side of this, we're gonna increment this frequency by 2, which is 3. Now it is 3. Then we go to the like this side. Then because 2 is greater than 4, we're gonna go to the right side. Okay, so now because we're gonna go to the right side, then like the total amount of frequency is, we're gonna take this frequency, add 1. Okay, so now we have taken one element, which means that this element is taken, which is okay, I have to take this in the answer. Then go to the right side, then take 3, because 3, now for 3 I have to also again to go to the right side, but I have to include this element. So take the frequency plus this element, so plus 1, because the frequency is 0, and then insert this point, and the total frequency of counter till now is 2. and the answer is 4. If I inserted 4 here, the answer is 2 because these two elements are there. So I hope you get the intuition how we are building this tree. Whenever I go to the left side, I will increment the parent value and go to the left side. Whenever I go to the right side, I will increment the answer, which is the final answer of for this node, by the frequency on the parent plus 1, because this node is also taken. And that's how we're gonna go about this code. So we have to take care, because we are building a tree, so we have to make a struct of node. It has like 4 possibility, like 4 like as you can see values. So the value itself, the count, left and right pointer, and you're gonna initialize this with the value is value, count is count, and like left and right is null. So this is the function, the starter function. Everything is 0. Then this is answer. Root is null initially, there is no root, and then we're gonna move from right to left, as you can see. And for every value, this add function will return the number of elements to the right side of this, which are smaller. So, and this is also will create a node in the binary search tree, and thus we have to like send the address of the root node in this, because we are building this tree following this root node, the initial root node, which is initially null. And then this function is called with root node, the value itself is the nums of I, and 0, like the count is 0, and the answer is stored in answer I, and the final answer returned is the vector itself. How this function is like running: if root node is null, root is null, then what we're going to do, we're gonna insert like root equal to the new node. We're gonna initialize a new node with the value itself, and the total count is 0, which I've told you when a new node is inserted, and return out the total at that point. If you go to the right side, then right side will return out a value of root count, which is the count of the parent itself, plus we're gonna call this recursive function again on the right side, because we are going to the right side, and because we have to, in the end, I've told you this root node will tell you what is the frequency on the left side, but we have to also count the number of the parent node itself, which I've told you. So this is total plus 1. And if you go to the right, like left side, then the count of the root node will increment by 1, and then we recursively call this function on the left side. And that's the logic. You're gonna you can read this code in the description box, and I have the link down there, or you can also ping me on the Telegram channel if you still have doubts. So I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep coding and take care. Bye.